All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Just coming with a little something, something. And I say unto you all, like I said time after time after time, I don't think a lot of people really understand. And it's kind of sad. Let me put something right here for a minute. Uh, a lot of us don't understand the power that these, it's real. And it's what you call realer than real. And a lot of people don't believe that that type of power exists. And it controls everything. And like I said before, anytime they can have power to cause individual to shut a whole country down and nobody says anything, that's deep. And yep, they will. They will continue to shut you down. And when time when it gets to the point where people are want to be heard and want to speak, you're not going to have a mouthpiece, or you're not going to have a platform, or you're not going to have the ability to really speak out and say what you feel or what you think. As you see now, a lot of people really don't understand what is going on. And let me say this here. Every time we start to talk about certain things, you notice they out of nowhere shut us down. Totally shut us down. Out of nowhere. It don't be raining. It's no. It's not like I'm on live or on my cable or Wi-Fi is in another room on or nothing like that. It's just the policies that I know you all don't know it. They hear you all. You don't think they do. You don't think you don't think they're paying attention to what you're saying and what you're talking about. They are, because I've seen them come on to my live chat and cut off people in what they're saying. And I'm looking at it and saying, wow, what did that person say? Did they wipe them off? And I'm like saying, time of review. I'm like, how you gonna come onto this page? Okay, and we have a small page with a small what would you chat line, and you gonna come listening to what we say. Why is it important to listen to what we say? Huh? Do y'all see them cutting off everybody else's? See, that's the difference of knowing who is walking in the narrow gate versus who are walking in the broad gate. They don't have no problem with nobody walking in the broad gate because they know they ain't gonna cross the line. You see, and I noticed that. I think that is very powerful that people don't. This is what I was explaining to you about Babylon has already fallen. People don't really pay attention to what is already happened. They're waiting for something to happen. And it's already happened. Let me give you another example. When he said to the angels to seal his servants in their forehead, Revelation chapter 7, you know why? It's because of the plagues that's hitting the earth. So therefore, you have to know that you're living, seeing the plagues. So you know that the seal has already taken place. He already sealed his. You see, so that's what I'm saying to you when I say Revelation 18, United Snakes has already fallen. Only way you're going to know that it has fallen is through the prophecy and what the Spirit is speaking to you from his spirit to yours. You see? Or else you won't know what's really going on. And that's what I noticed, that, a lot of people, they don't really know what's going on. When I see them, that state that's Oregon, talking about they not talking about it. They passed a law that you don't have to meet the expectation to graduate now in high school. You don't have to have meet the grades of the 12th grade to be able to get a high school diploma. So you got the Europeans over there, the Gentiles over there, upset because of the reason why is what? Because the black people are not being able to. We know that's a lie from the pit of hell. We know that that's a lie. You see, but this is how the system start racial war. And a lot of times you all don't see that that's really what they're up to. They're up to trying to continue to have racial war or things going on between different people. So as I'm looking at everything, I'm like, wait a minute. They're doing a lot of things against black people and telling white people they're giving this privilege to black people but they're not giving it just to blacks. They're giving it across the board. They're passing a law that you don't have to pass the test, the 12th grade testing to graduate. You can just graduate. You don't have to meet standards anymore. I said, now what part of this country will do that? But you got to understand, this country has already fallen, you guys. So everything has to fall with it. And that's what people is not ready for. People are not prepared for this country falling and everything with it falling. They're not even prepared for that. They're not prepared for that. They're prepared more so for seeing that Babylon is going to fall, or things are happening, or they doing this, they doing that. But they're not nowhere near prepared for it to be where it's at. Just like them closing banks. A lot of you all don't understand. They have closed a lot of banks. Shalom, shalom. They have closed a lot of banks. And I know it don't seem like it, but they have. And those that they have not closed, they have they're going to put some restrictions on the main ones. A lot of them. They're going to put restrictions to keep you from using your money. These things you should be paying attention to just to kind of get yourself together so you won't lose it. You see? So I think God is showing us a lot of things that's taking place. It's just all we see in it. I see, Sister Deborah, I tell you, Babylon has already fallen to me. I'm waiting for the debris. And that means I'm waiting to see I'm waiting to see I might not get to see it. That's I might not get to see it, the debris, because to me, I see a lot of it out here, but hold on. I'm sorry. Hello, I'm live. John ain't getting nothing. What he needed for? Where's he at? Okay. Okay. You guys, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and y'all tell me what you think about Sister Deborah. Okay, come on now, tell me what you think about me. My mind has been like this here. Listen to this here. I'm gonna go share it with y'all. My mind is like, I'll be better out of here than in here. You get what I'm saying? That I look at life. I say, Father, it's like I'll be better out of here than in here. Cause it's like you hear and you ain't making it better for anyone. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, and I guess it's kind of my fault too, because I want people to see him like I can see. Them kids, I'm telling you, I want him to see, I want, let's say my children, to see the Most High Yah like I see him. And that's wrong for me to want them to see him like I see him if he don't show himself to them like he showed himself to me. So I'm like saying, well, what's the sense of me being here? You see? Because you think about how you've given yourself and who you are to your children. And they still not gripping the fact of anything. It's just, and I somebody help me out here. Somebody in the live chat. Okay, we talking. It's called It's Time to Talk. That means you can talk about anything. That's why Sister Deborah just talking about anything. She ain't talking about nothing. That's what I was saying. You know, you was talking about money in the bank. Let me tell you something. I was saying, see, that's what I'm talking about. See, you're trying to make me feel real sad. You're trying to make me feel real sad because I was just thinking about that for months and months. Father, okay, I'm here. What I'm going to do? If they mess with the bank and they freeze, they stop you from getting your, because they already tried it. They didn't try it. They did it. Stop me from getting money out of the bank. But what is it? It's, you know what? I got a few gold coins. Now, is it gold? No, silver coins. 100%. You know what? It ain't going to help either. You know why? Because I found out that the government, just like they going out, they went after Cash App, GoFundMe, all these other places. Every money that's coming in, they're keeping a tab on it. You see what I'm saying? So that shows you that this system that we trying to wait to see if we see the beast and the false prophet. We looking for them and they already here. Because the control is already here 100. Because they controlling us already. They taking our money. They're closing our banks. Look at how they burnt up all of our crops and closed the farmers down. See, a lot of you all don't even think of stuff like that. They done all that. You should have heard the farmers talking about how they had to kill all their cows and their pigs, you know, because the government was telling them that they were doing a takeover and they had to destroy, but they paid them well. So you see what I'm saying? And farmers who grow certain things, Bill Gates have taken over it. They're gonna close this. They're gonna close this internet down. My YouTube page in a few minutes, y'all. Because what we was talking about earlier, you all don't get it because even though it don't sound like nothing, but it is something. That's why they shut it down. What we was talking about, we was all over the place, but we was talking about something. So a lot of times you all don't know when they do that, they're doing that because of what they hear. Oh, I hear you hear what they say, and you say, shut it down. So the banks, it's too late for that. It's no hope for us dealing with the banks. They shutting it down big time because they already have shut down many of banks. But when they shut it down, I was saying, should I have my retirement to come to my house, or should I have it come to what do I have? Oh, well, I get a debit card. No, you can't. Because they're shutting those down as well. I was like, well, how are you going to get? You're not going to get it. You're still going to be under their control. You're still going to be under their control. You see? So today, let me show y'all what I got. I got these big old tubs. This is not it. I found this at the thrift store. Isn't it ugly? It is so ugly. It's on wheels. You see here? And it has 9. It's so ugly. And it has 9 sections. What I'm saying, like this. I'm going to start planting. Okay? Doing a lot of winter. Let me tell you why. And I got a yard where I got things ready to start just eating vegetables and planting. The way they're going to do it is, your best bet, once you get yourself set up, okay, then you're up with the bank because they already got that fixed. I went to the bank last week and they shut it down, and the only thing I can do is deposit. They told you cannot use this ATM machine to do nothing but deposit or transfer. I'm like saying, I ain't never seen that a day in my life. And then I got 3 letters from the bank saying it's going to be a changeover. Everybody should be getting information from your bank. See, they're going to do it whether you like it or not. I go into the stores and I see everything I like having bio engineered. So y'all done took the stuff out of the food already. They ain't got no shame in their game. See, we thinking they have to answer to us or the people. The people that showed them, we locked you in your house. We closed your jobs. We closed your stores. We separated you from your family. We muzzled your mouth. We gave you a biochemical, and yet that showed us we got you now. They have won 100%. So they ain't afraid to mess with the bank. All of that is already set up. It's no such thing as, oh, the beast, the Antichrist. Listen, they already there. They already there. Babylon has already fallen. And as far as the banks, as far as I believe, that's something we can't battle with. As far as our money, because they ain't gonna what they're doing, you guys. They ain't gonna let nobody take your money. So even if you take your money out of the bank, they ain't gonna let nobody use you. They're not gonna accept money. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. So when they close the bank, it's gonna be to a point where you're gonna have to get on their card or whatever they want to give you your money on. That's the way they're gonna swing it, to a card where they can control it. Okay, so and it's not going to be where you can go in the bank and get what you want. This is how they're going. It ain't that they're going to. They already started that. A lot of people tell you they're already doing that. So they didn't let you take out these kids. 1 minute, please. Jonah, I'm live. What is the problem? Jonah, what do you need that tonight for? Yeah, I was, but I mean, bye, Jonah, bye. These kids, I'm telling you, I'm getting ready to go in the tree. Who going under the tree with me? I'm gone. These kids are it's a hot mess. And I mean, you know what I learned about the kids? They don't have no what the father it said is that there's not going to be no affection and no, it's not going to be that grace and no mercy. They ain't gonna care about nothing. They just gonna want what they want. I'm sorry. You all keep talking. Those kids, I'm telling you. I asked him, I say, Father, so I got all these adult children. Ooh, you know what? That's it. Ooh, Let me not. Someone come up with the next topic because Sister Deborah is overloaded. You try to type and listen. When you say they are still detached to the matrix, can you kind of help us to you or you speaking like to the matrix, like the movie? Then I can agree with that. I can understand that. Yeah, they paid them to destroy their stuff. Isn't it? You didn't know that Bill? Did you know that Bill Gates has took ownership of all the seeds and so on. A lot of them closed that. The 9 fruit of the Spirit in Galatians 5. This also in Revelation 2, isn't it? I like the fruits of the Spirit. And if you really look at it, you see it ain't the fruit that everybody be talking about. You got to have the fruit of the Spirit. You see, the Father has 7 fruits of the Spirit. So you said 9 in Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 and 23. Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 and 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith. Say for instance, I look at this one here and I see the LOV. Peace, joy, long suffering, gentleness, goodness. But I look at faith. I know faith is one of the power punches of the fruit of the Spirit because it's with righteous belief, faith, and fear. Okay? Meekness, tempers, against such these is no law. There's no law. That's right. Can't nothing hold that back. I just battle a lot with the word love. I did a video on Facebook about the word love. And what I'm learning, you all, that's why I be trying to understand a lot of stuff. I just be praying that the Father will send somebody that knows, that knows things that's rooted in spirit and truth. Because a lot of times when we speak of soul, we speak of love, we miss out. We really miss out because the way he taught me about what took place before the foundation of the world, love wasn't involved in it. Okay. Everything he created, it was what he gave and he give. Give and gave is a characteristics of who he is. He is righteous. He is the faith. He has the faith, the belief, and the fear brand, those 4 brands. But he forever given and gave. And that's something we never learned about the Father. And the reason why we haven't learned it is because we're caught up in this word love. And if you had to get, let's say, if we had to get 100 people in one room, we would say 1,000. Well, we can say 1,000, but you can get 1,000 people in one room and you hear them define love to you, the way they see love, the way they feel about love, the way they live love, it'll blow your mind. Why with the 1,000? It'll probably have 1,000 different beliefs, just like the Bible. You got everybody coming out of one Bible, but how many? Probably got about 5,000 different religions with a different belief. When that's what love is, you guys. Love is something that a word that's easy to swing, but it's hard to master. Why? It's because it really doesn't really give you any definition. How can someone tell me what the love of Yah looks like, feel like, and is, when everything that he does is covered by give and gave? Okay? Everything about him is about give and gave. So if we say love, then how can how could give and gave override love, or love override give and gave? You see what I'm saying? It's when you start from the beginning. Okay. And in the beginning, you don't hear him saying he so loved you that he gave you heaven and the earth. Okay. He so loved you that he put you in the Lamb book of life. He so loved you that he created this. Everything he created is what he gave and what he give us. Look at grace and mercy. He's pouring out grace and mercy right now today on everybody, whether you are righteous or unrighteous. He's pouring out continually. Grace and mercy. Is that love? Is the reason why he poured out grace and mercy? Or is that him giving and gave us grace and mercy? It would have to be give and gave. Because when you start to say love, you have to be able to define a creator in this word love, and you ain't going to find it. Only thing you're going to find is what all he gave and what all he give. That's it. You ain't going to find nothing no more than that. Turned around and questioned Yeshua in the heavens and asked him, well, when did we do those things? Yeshua never told him because you love me or because you did it. Almighty Yah. And that's what's keeping us from really knowing how to hug on God. It's because we don't know him like that. We don't appreciate him in his giving and gave. Let's say, for instance, his breath of life. Oh, he so loved us, he gave us his image and his breath of life. But what defined him loving us? It wasn't love, it was what he gave us. He gave us what? His image. He gave us what else? His breath. It's so many things that have been placed in the biblical Bible that's keeping us from having a real strong, how would I say it? Communication with the Most High Yah. You know why I say that? Because, you know, if we are in the body of Hamashiach, then we should be able, it's a lot of things we should be able to do. And the reason why we don't is because there's a lot of things that we really don't know. You see, we really don't know about. And that word love is such a compound word. It really is, because it has no spiritual power behind it, you guys. You can't define spiritual power. And if you can, I like someone too. What is spiritual power? He sit and say he give and gave you grace and mercy. He give and gave you his breath of life. He give and gave you his image. When he created everything, he gave you the earth. He gave you the sun. Everything he did, he gave. So where did the word love come in? And who can define a creator that loves outside of the word give and gave? So what do love has to do with it? That's why you got so many people with a different definition of love. What do you mean, Deborah? People are loving their dogs better than they doing human. People will give a dog medical care, will take it grooming, will give it the best food, will give it its own room, his own bed, his own everything before they give $1 to a human being on the streets. But yet, they love this animal. What kind of love is that? What kind of love is that? I sit back and and the reason why I sit back and I'm watching these things and I'm like saying, Father, this stuff is getting too deep. This stuff is getting too deep. So I guess every time I say stuff like that to the Father, I think of my lane. I tell myself, you better get in your lane. You better get in your lane because it's so much comfort in that lane. When you come up out of that lane, you know, it's just so much. What'd you say? No, Jonah. What'd you say? No, Jonah. It's so much in that lane that bring comfort and security and it's just so much in it. And it does. Like I'm sitting here and y'all, if you all could just hear what I'm saying to the Most High Yah while I'm talking to y'all, because I'm like saying, but Father, it's just that bad. It's just that bad. And he said, get in your lane, get in your lane. Meaning, so you know you go there, you're gonna be okay. What you say, my ugly? They are so ugly. They are. I look at it, I said, who came? But it's really neat idea because it's like 3 holes. It's like not, it's nine, it's three at the bottom. The second level is three, and the third. Now, if you see what I got playing outside, it's really big. But these here things, it's so ugly. You said, yes, you're ugly place. You ain't right. I don't know what to do about the children. No, he did. He didn't. He didn't. He didn't. He didn't. Let me see what you're saying. Demonstrate his love to me by on the cross. No, he didn't. That wasn't a way of demonstrating his love for me on the cross, because he gave and he give. That's what he did. He gave his only. He gave his life. You see what I'm saying? Love had nothing to do with it. It was what he did. So it's not the word that make it look and sound beautiful. It's the action he took. What was his action? It wasn't the word love, it's what he gave up. And that was his life. You see, it's still going to turn, no matter how you take the word love from this day on out of the Bible, you're going to find out it's bad with the word give and gave. That leads me to understand love ain't got nothing to do with it. Like Tina Turner said, what love got to do with it. And the more he break that thing down to me, I was like, but Father, because he already broke down to me soul. I see soul in this Bible so many times. I said, but Father, how did they get? Because it keeps you from having that intimate relationship with God. When you put soul in there, kick that soul to the curb, deal with flesh and spirit. Those are the only two he speaks of that's born. He speaks of them to the serpent as seeds. Your seed and my seed. He don't never put a middleman in between nothing. Y'all never put a middleman in between nothing outside of Christ. Never did he create anything. He created everything on tools. So what did that soul come in? Roman Catholics. Like I think they put that word love. Roman Catholics. You just have to know Yah in the spirit realm to really, for him to bring that forth. And like you were saying, that's a really good thing what you said, though. You said, didn't Christ not demonstrate his love for you by dying on the cross? Demonstrating. He didn't. Because guess why? Let me back that thing up and back it down. Okay? Let me say this. Before the foundation of the world, the lamb was already slaughtered. So that kicked love out of the picture right there. Before the foundation of the world, the lamb was already slaughtered. Okay? So he didn't have to hang on the tree for Sister Deborah to be written in the Lamb Book of Life. You see what I'm saying? It brings you back to that word love. But the only thing you have to go on is the word give and gave. What did he do on the cross? He gave his life. And what did he do in heaven? He was the lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world. So he was the lamb that was given to be gave on the earth. Love is a very powerful word. Haven't y'all lived life with family to realize love is not love? Then what is love? You see, love is a word that does not even make any sense, because the way its actions doesn't make any sense. So let me set another example for you where he says, a man shall love his wife like Christ loved the church. Like Christ, man should love his wife like Christ loved the church. Then how did Christ love the church? He gave his life. That's why men don't know that they are to give their life for their wives. because they don't understand it was about give and gave is what, not love. Too far gone. Sister Deborah needs to be in the cuckoo house, because these things, to me, I look at where we at in the midnight hour, and I think these things are just so many things that people didn't get a chance. And I feel really good about the Father saying and making me understand that, Deborah, when I come to get mine, there are going to be some that cannot see spiritual. But I'm going to tell them, you look, I know you can see natural. Bring yourself on here. You can't see spiritual. That means you ain't got it. I know you can see, you can hear natural, but come on here. You can't hear nothing spiritual. He still going to claim what's his. I think that's beautiful. That's beautiful. But soul, if you look at soul keep you from really having a real good relationship with the Father. Why? Because it's always in the middle, and it ain't got no business being there. It's either you're going to be on your flesh side or you're going to be on your spiritual side. You have an image like Yah, which is a spirit. You have your own spirit. That same spirit of yours is going to have to stand before the Most High Yah. When it's time for judgment, it's going to have to wake up and go before the throne. That's that image that he gave you, an image like unto him. It wasn't him, it was his image, which is a spirit. Then he breathed that spirit into you to give you that image. Now you are flesh and you are spirit. Man ain't got no business there. That's why people can't learn that the power of the spirit, even of their spirit. They can't learn it. Why? Because the soul is in between. They have been taught from the beginning, soul plays a big role. And when we tell you what happened, and I'm going to tell you all, since I was 4 years old, Sister Deborah today is 62 years old and can see how soul has been how would I say it? A brick wall between spirit and flesh. Soul has been that brick wall. And you know what it made me think about? When the Father told Satan in the garden, Genesis 3:15, I will put intimacy between the woman's seed and thy seed. I know that ain't the soul. I believe the soul is what the Roman Catholic put in there. So you won't focus on one or the other. Because I'm going to be honest. Where we at today, this is from what I can see and understand. Say, for instance, if we had 2 billion people on the face of the earth. On the face of the earth. You got 2 billion people. Out of the 2 billion people, I'm gonna mess with y'all. Don't think Sister Deborah is crazy. I'm just showing you how far people mindset is from truth. I believe out of the 2 billion people of everybody here on the earth, you might have 100 people understand that they have a spirit. Why? In the beginning, he said he was creating man and woman. Let me create them in my own image, in the image of him. His image is a spirit. It wasn't his spirit he created. He was giving you a spirit through his breath. So he was letting you use his breath so that your spirit can live. He snatched your breath come death, your flesh gonna fall straight where it belongs, to the ground, but your spirit gonna sleep until he called us to the throne. You see what I'm saying? So how did soul get up in there? It comes to keep you from understanding to deal with the two. Because the soul will step in and it'll be on the side of the flesh where you're not able to get to know your own spirit. He said your spirit is willing, but your flesh is weak. We live based on our flesh, and we take the soul and give it support the flesh with the soul. When the soul ain't got no business being there anyway, you stand down, clown. and let me deal with the flesh of who I am in my spirit. Spirit, get the flesh under subjection. That middle barrier ain't got no business there. I look at that as something that the Roman Catholic put in there. So when I'm talking, I will never give up the King James Bible. Why? He said, study to show yourself approved, Deborah. Tarry for me, and I'm coming. See, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He said, but then you better tell him, when I come, I ain't battling with nothing but the spirit. So if they want to play with their soul and their flesh, they'll go right ahead. Only place I abide is in their spirit, the place that they knew not of. If you got two or his image, which is a spirit, they don't know that. People more caught up in the word soul to bring meaning to any and everything that's going on with their flesh. I hear it throughout the biblical instructions and direction board. So I said, wait a minute. This soul ain't got no business here. Wait a minute, Father, did you say a man became a living soul, or did someone came in to put a barrier so you won't really focus on my spirit, which is the image of Yah? But people will tell you, baby, you are made perfect. You're in the image of Yah. Wait a minute. Why would you tell people that? Because they looking at the outer man. They ain't got to know the image of Yah that's in them. They only know the outer man. See, they don't teach people this very powerful individual, which is you, is in your spirit. He said, I don't deal with your flesh. Tell him, Deborah, I don't deal with your nasty flesh. I'm not coming to abide in your nasty flesh. I'm coming to abide in the spirit that has an image like unto me. I come to reside there. See, people don't know that. People don't know that. That's why you got all these pastors and all these bishops and these apostles and these teachers and these preachers, these prophets and these prophetess and all these Moorings, these seers and these watchmen out here claiming to be all that and some, and riding on a lot of misunderstanding. What would I look like going to all these lost books, Enoch book, and every other book, when this book here is supposed to override Enoch? Even though Enoch and all this been taken out, I bet you wouldn't throw this book away. If you had to throw one of your books away, I can guarantee you it won't be the King James version or the 1611 you will throw away. You'll throw away one of them other books. Only if they came to your house and say, throw away one of them books. I can bet you anything now one of them throw away the King James Bible. They'll say, you only allow one book in this house, or we're gonna take you out. I can guarantee you that they wouldn't throw out that King James 1611 or that King James Bible. That's the only outliving one that people have been up under. I know they took books out, but people, they took you from the spirit realm of his image and you still don't know it. What about the things they took from you as far as the things which are spiritual that Yah created you in and created you with? But yet you can't see that he says, get your flesh under the subjection to your spirit. He's telling you, you got a spirit in you that's so willing to do the things that are right, or even willing to want me to come and abide in you. But because you don't think to know that you have a spirit, man, what were we talking about? We were talking about depression. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's attacking the spirit. Because it knows that the spirit is greater than the flesh. And when it gets to attack the spirit, it feels it got you now. That's how powerful this demonic spirit is that attack people through depression. Because it knows. Satan knows. Satan don't get a rat's behind about your soul. Satan knows that you flesh or either you spirit. I mean, not that you flesh and you spirit. Meaning that you have a spirit in you and you are made up of flesh. Satan knows that. You think Satan run around here and say, oh no, I got to get to their soul. I got to get on their soul. He got you using the word soul because they placed it in there. It's so successful to no one ever questioned the fact that, wait a minute, what they doing up in here? It's just like me. The lady wanted me to be a speaker down in Atlanta. They was having a women's convention, and she wanted me to be a speaker. And I told her, I'm sorry, I can't take it. I said, sounds good, but baby, I'm sorry. She said, well, ma'am, why not? She said, I've been waiting and waiting. She's the host over the program. And she said, I thought it would be wonderful if you were the speaker. I said, I can't be the speaker. I'm sorry. She said she felt so bad that I turned it down, but I told her why. I said, because if I had to speak at the convention, baby, I would have to, my topic would be, I am not a Christian. She was like, oh, no, Miss Deborah, why would you say that? And when I finished breaking that down, she said, ma'am, as long as I've been in the church, I ain't never in my life heard nobody say it like that. I never would have gave it a thought. You know why? People are hearing the mouth of the flesh, and they are not hearing those that Yah is sending. It is too hard for one to understand that no, soul is not in there. No, love is not it. Because when I sat and I watched Yeshua go picked up he wasn't doing it. He said, I'm going to the four corners with his angels on the four corners. And he's going to collect. And it ain't going to be in the name of love. All right. When he brings he's going to separate the goat from the sheep. And he's going to take the sheep to the altar, telling them this is what you were created from before the foundation of the world. You see? Wait a minute, you taking them there because of love? See, you won't find heaven dealing with love. But you'll find it in here. And you'll find it out of the words of men. You won't find heavens dealing with soul. Because man has placed it there to fit in, to keep you from meditating on two things. The tools. There ain't no middleman in there. That's the soul. So this is why so many people can't even go as they possibly go walking in Yah and with Yah. It's because the middleman, the middle barrier, soul and love. Oh, wait a minute, hold up. I said, so that's what Tina Turner was saying. He said, no, you know that ain't what Tina Turner was saying. I said, well, I'm just being silly. But she said, what love got to do with it? I'm silly like silly. Don't know how to stop. Don't know how to say no. You know, I don't care how I talk on here. I don't know how somebody walk up to me and say they need something, ma'am. What you need, baby? Oh, silly. And I went before the Most High, y'all crying and hooping and hollering, talking about I'm an old lady and still don't know how to not be a giver. Why is it I have to be stupid? I was just crying, y'all. I was acting a fool. The Father told me, hey, Deborah, guess what? That's who I am. I'm like, he said, ain't no love. It's give and gave. I'm giving gave. That's why they don't have no respect for me. They don't know I done gave and give them. I done gave and give them. I done gave and give them. And what love got to do with what me, myself, have given and gave them. They still today don't know how much I have given and gave them because they so busy thinking all these other things of who I am. And I am giving gave. And I'm like, what? He said, so while you running around here hooping and howling, talking about why you want to stop giving, how you going to stop what's in you? You see, I'm thinking that I had a sickness or an illness where you can't stop. You can't not do something for somebody. Somebody walk up to me, I ain't have no sense. They said, well, ma'am, I don't have a bed. And well, you need a place to stay too? Come over here. I didn't have sense. I didn't care if they were strangers or what. Sense. None of that didn't mean nothing to me. It was about what I can do for people, what I can give to people. You know, and and what happened is I was doing this here and I was crying. I was like, but I have nobody to give me, but yet I can't stop giving. Why is it? I was so messed up with trying to understand that. But when that spirit came to me and told me, that's who I am. Father Yah, come on now. You know it got to be. Let's go to Genesis. Come on, I show you. Show me where it says love, I gave you. A son, I gave you. An earth. Show me where love is what I gave you. It don't match, y'all. It has no relevance. You see him where he said the son, the son was sacrificed. Okay, so we say that his love was, we can say, okay, that his love was that he gave us his son. Baby. See, in heaven, see, that's why he hit me at 4 years old. Because he wanted to make sure that I was rooted in the proceed out of his. Because I'm like, wait a minute now, hold up. Before the foundation of the world, this stuff took place, baby. The sacrifice wasn't on the earth, it was in the heavens. Hello. You see how far we are from spirit and truth? See, in the spirit realm, the lamb was sacrificed. But you didn't understand there was 2 lambs sacrificed. The flesh blood, the angel, Yeshua, he came down in flesh, born of a woman, flesh and blood. And who else? Hey, Paul, tell him, Paul, no, not Paul, Peter, tell him, who do they say that the I am? Oh, he's the son of the living Yah. There go the tools. The tools that was sacrificed on the cross. See, y'all don't get it. There was 2 sacrifices on the cross. There was 2 lambs in the heavens. The lowercase lamb and the capital lamb. The lowercase lamb was the angel made little lower than the other angels. And who came down with him? The right hand of the Father, which was the capital lamb, to help the lowercase lamb see it through. Praise the mighty Yah. It's 2. Always been and always will. It's 2. So when it come down, the lamb was already slaughtered before the foundation of the world. Well, what was that going on down yonder? What was that? What was going on? He said, okay. They was walking that thing out. They was walking what out, Father? Yeah. What? They were walking my will out, Deborah. They was walking my will out. That was my will. My way. They was walking out. But it was already in the heavens, orchestrated for it to come to the earth. But wait a minute. But Father, heaven doesn't say love. No. But when it got down to the Bible, it says love. You see? When it got down to the book, now you see love. You see? That's the reason why he had to teach me at a young age, where he had me to myself, where he had to give me what he wanted me to have in me, and he gave it to me before the foundation of the world. That's why I stuck so deep. He made sure he touched tag with it throughout my life. Because when he come down and Yeshua's getting ready to sacrifice, Yeshua already know. I'm gonna show you. Want me to tell you who else said it? Here go John the Baptist. Wait a minute. John the Baptist pulled up. He said, the Lamb of God. He said, wait a minute, hold up. He was telling his disciples, he said, this one I knew of, but this one here I knew not of. He knew. John the Baptist knew what Sister Deborah knows. John the Baptist was cutting up. He said, isn't the lamb that come to take away the sins of the world? Tell his disciples, I knew him before. I was told of him that when the dove land on him, that is him to come to bring the sacrifice, not the sacrifice, salvation. It was, but see, John knew. John was talking about the heaven he was in, that he knew this one, but this one that's coming, he knew not. He was talking about, I knew the son of the right hand of the Father, but I didn't know. He said, I knew the son of Yah, but I didn't know the son of man. So he poured up. Here goes John, locked up in prison. He said, now he tell his disciples, go back to the son of man and ask him, are you the one or should we look for another? John the Baptist was saying, same thing Sister Deborah was saying. This thing started from the heaven. It got to match the will of the Father, not the will of these words, y'all. So John the Baptist in prison, he said, go back and ask him. Wait a minute, John. Did not you say here that this one that's coming is he that was spoken of that's come take away the sin of the world. When you telling that to your disciples before you was locked up? Why is it when you locked up, John, now you want your disciples to go back to ask him, are you the one, or should we look for another? So the disciples poured up on Yeshua and asked Yeshua, wait a minute. Hold up. John told us to come to see. Are you the one? John said, are you the one? And Yeshua said not a word. He began to let them know. Tell him. You see, the blind eyes are open. The deaf are hearing. The lame is walking. What he's saying is, he didn't put it in that order, but what he's saying is, don't tell him I said nothing. Tell him what you see. Why? Because John knew that the Son of Yah was on the scene with the Son of Man. Y'all just don't get it. See, it was two all the time, working one mission, which was the Father. What makes it one mission, Deborah? It's the will of the Father in his greatest power. You see? So therefore, I love that, because I think I said, hey, wait a minute, hold up. I say this all the time. Don't pay me no back. When I read that, I'm like, hey, John, hold up. Are you scared? You in prison now, you scared? And after just reading John said, no, I ain't scared. I'm just teasing y'all. John said, no, I ain't scared. Shoot, I'm just trying to figure out and make sure he's the one. Because if he's the one, then I got to decrease so he can increase. So what was it going to do, Deborah? It was going to assure John that it stops right here. This is it. This is your life. You're going to die in this prison here. See, that's what he wanted to know, because he knew that the Father had already told him in heaven, when he come, and the one that shall come, when he come, you decrease, he's going to increase. So John the Baptist was saying, go ask him, is he's the one, or should we look for another? Meaning, am I going to go down now, or am I going to go down later? Are you the one? Wait a minute, John. I'm like, but John, you addressed him as the one. What do you mean? He said, Deborah, okay, don't forget, I knew of he, the Son of Yah, but the Son of Man, I knew not. So I want to make sure that what I'm seeing in the Son of Man is what was told to me when the doves land on him, that he will be the one. So didn't that happen, John? Yeah, but I got to decrease. See, I got to die once I understand that he is. I'm in prison. I'm going to know, is this it for me? Is this, am I going to go down right now? So when they come back and tell him what they saw, John says, it. Come on, behead me, take my head off. It's time to go. He knew what time it was then. See, you have to understand the Most High Yah in a spiritual realm that's in the natural realm. Because before there was anything natural, things were spirit. So the lamb wasn't slaughtered or because he loved us wasn't slaughtered. It's because the will of the Father had orchestrated it from heaven. You see, the Lord didn't have nothing to do with it. But when he go back and he said, man, love your wife as Christ loved the church. As Christ loved the church. As Christ loved the church. Do y'all know what danger that is? Anybody in the live chat, do you have any idea how dangerous that statement is? Let me see if anybody can guess why. Why is that statement so dangerous? Why would Sister Deborah say that statement is so dangerous? Anybody know? I'll wait and see if somebody can answer it. Why is that so dangerous? Love your wife as Christ loved the church. Why is that so dangerous? Come on, somebody. Come on. Do anybody know why? I don't understand. Why, oh, why? Okay. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25 through 27. I think that's it. Let me see. That's what I got. What's the power in that, child? What is that power in? Let me read it. Let me read it. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25 and 20 to 27. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church, and he gave himself for the church. Okay? That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the sword. Ooh. Verse 7. That he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot nor wrinkles or any such thing, but that it shall be holy without anybody. You mean nobody? Can't nobody answer that one? Come on now, somebody please answer that one. Again, husband, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. You see that? Washing of the word, water by the word. You see that word? That's that word that was, is, shall be, and always being with the Father. Okay? That he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but by that it should be holy. Who does the Bible ever tell you that's holy? The Father. Okay? And without blemish. What's going on here? Something going on. Let's see if someone get it. That's true. It doesn't. Not on here either. Not with this verse either. Yeah, Ephesians chapter 5 and 25 through 27. You know, and that's good point. Good point. You said because men definition of the church may be fleshly understanding and not all know spiritual understanding. Now you see what you're saying? You see how you're saying that? That's how they see the church. They see it in the fleshly realm. You are very good. That's a good point, because if they seeing it in the fleshly realm, they're not getting it in the spirit realm. You see? So something is off somewhere. That's what do love got to do with it? You see, you got to, that's a good point you made. I wouldn't have never thought of that one, but that's a good one. That's a good one, because that's pretty much leading to where I'm coming from. Exactly. And this is why women, oh Father, I'm about to get now. Let me calm down. There's a battle going on. This is what he was speaking to me today. There is a battle between male and female. And he was saying that the fire of wickedness is coming from the male end, because they haven't fulfilled all these years from Genesis all the way up. They haven't been able to master the will of the Father. You see? Exactly. It's not. That's why they can't give and gave women. Women want something from them that they cannot even give them. It ain't that they can't give them. It's just they don't know how. Their father didn't give it to their mother, and their grandfather didn't give it to their mother. Then they on down and on down. So they decided, hell with this. We ain't going to give it because we don't know what it's like. We'll just call it love. But they can't give. Why? Because he said, let's hear what he says. Husband, love your wives as Christ loved the church. And it's telling you Christ loved the church. But how did he love the church? And he gave himself. What man know how to give himself like Christ gave the church? Come on. They can't. They can't. So they pull love out and use that They can't even define love. Women can't define love because they don't even understand. Y'all challenged them, not challenge him. He didn't challenge him. He gave it to them to know that, okay, you are to give her yourself like I gave myself. That's what the Father said. You see, they don't get that part. Oh, they can't get it because love is in the way. It's so many words and so many things in this book that's in the way to keep people from really seeing who Yah really is. And I know it's sad and I can't explain it and I can't help it. But that's why I'm going to tell y'all something. That interferes with a lot. It's very misleading, isn't it? It is hurt you at the same time, can say I love you and kill you the next second. I love you and take everything you got. Even when it comes down to men, women, children, women and their husband, love ain't got nothing to do with this. Who's supporting love when this stuff is happening? Satan. So he knows that he can swing that word to get people. They tell people now, don't go on these dating sites. Stay off of this mess. You can't find love, baby, because ain't no love there. You're going to find Satan giving you some ideal of what you think you found, which is love. Me too. That's what she said. And I always wonder why she said that, but it makes sense. Oh, all right, this freezing. Wow. That's strange. Anybody else? Is your side freezing? So that's why the battle is going on, he said, in the end days. But you know what? You know something's wrong, y'all. You know what? I ain't got no sense, y'all. I know I ain't got no sense. But guess what? How much you bet he answered this woman that ain't got no sense? How much you bet? I tell you right now, the Father gonna give me the answer. You know what I asked him? I was asking him, why isn't there anything to kind of inform us of what is going on between men and women today in the tribe of Judah? I'm learning that it's not just in the tribe of Judah, it's all over. But I mainly focus like in the tribe of Judah. What is going on? Where is it found in the instructions and direction? Where is the lead? Where is this and this? You ain't gonna find it. You ain't gonna find it. That means we're doing something that he ain't even prophesied it to be done. So we just doing something. How's that to be, Father? We fall in the will of Satan. That's what he said. So when you see that this thing that between Judah, men and women, the Father said they just walking in darkness. They following the will of the Satan. They're not following the will. They following in the way that he's allowed those to walk into ways of Satan. That's it. Because he said that's why you don't see it, Deborah. That's why you can't find it. Because I do, y'all. I look for everything. Yeah, everybody view it different. Everybody got a different. But guess what? When I used to speak in council, males and females, I always let them know, what is it a woman wants from a man? And what is it a man wants from a woman? If you all only knew the simple things. A woman wants to be heard. She wants a man to take out time to listen. Can he listen if he's speaking? No, he can't. He has to listen, have ears to hear. Okay? So that's what a woman wants from a man. And I know a lot of you women say, no, I want this, I want that. You can want whatever you want. But guess what? You ain't going to get it until you get this. How about that? How about that? Until you get a man to listen. And if he listen, he might know from listening to you what you like, what you don't like, what you want, how you like to be touched, how you like to feel. But if he don't have an ear to hear that, he don't give a rat's behind about you. That's the truth of the whole matter. So watch this here. Well, what is it, Deborah, that a man wants from a woman? A man wants the simple esteem from a woman. And that is to say that he's good at what he does. Those are men and women that were created in the peace that the Father has created. I ain't talking about with Satan and demonic and all this sexual and this oral sex and this anal sex. All this stuff is when wicked and evil creep in and has taken over to where they don't give a rat's behind if you tell them if they good or not. They out to get theirs. They don't care about how you feel. You see what I'm saying? This is why. They don't care about listening to you. They don't want to even hear you. They a good feel and go on. And that's what it's become. They won't now what the men are teaching the men is she don't do what you tell her, she's your property killer. And they doing a lot of that, a whole lot of it. But not only are they killing her, they killing their children, they're killing their mom and their dad. These things are happening. And I'm like saying, Father, you sitting here saying Babylon falling. What did these people can't see what else falling? He said, no, they ain't gonna see it. See, they waiting for their concept of falling based on the biblical. They don't see Babylon already falling. And people just like they don't see that the Father is taking out a small remnant from out of the house of Israel. They teaching the people, everybody going. You can do what you want, how you want it, in the way you want it. It don't matter. You going. You know, he come to get you and you're going to the promised land. But they don't understand that promised land is set up for holiness. So he's coming to get you. He's taking you over there. He'll cleanse you up and get you right. But he ain't taking you from out of here. And you are not a servant of his. So the woman is left out there, and then he's left. Now darkness has creeped in, marriages, relationship, to everybody's after what they want. And most of it is what can please the flesh. Nothing that can give you peace, joy, and happiness. Because I thought in this day and time, I think it is the best thing for people to, if you get involved with someone, find someone that you can trust, that you can talk to, that you can unite with, and y'all can do things. Put y'all in the middle at all times. Let him be the first and the last of any and every decision. Always seeking him for the next step of his will for you. All those beautiful things. And it's the best thing that can happen to the tribe of Judah as far as a man finding a woman, because he said this is a good thing. But what happened is, where we at today, they don't want a good thing. Okay, they want a good way, but not a good thing. And it's okay. It's over. It's finished. You know, Santa Claus ain't coming to town. Okay, so it don't matter. He gave himself. That's what he did. Christ. When we was talking about Christ, okay, right here, you guys, in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 24. Because we as individuals have not set up under the Ruach enough to hear him speak and stop trying to speak over him and trying to talk when it's time to hear. That's why he says it's a time to hear and it's a time to speak. That time of hearing is when that Holy Spirit trying to teach us, set our tails down and shut up and listen. And even though we might not understand it or we might not agree in whatever, shut your mouth, know who you're talking with, okay? Recognize who he is, okay? So I said, and I say unto you all, I don't see the word Christ as Hamashiach as you all see it. I see Christ as the power of the Father's right hand. Christ to me is Yah. That's what a man came with, the son of Yah. Yah's power, spirit, and word. But Christ is represented as the Father's all power. Okay, so here it says, therefore, as the church is subject unto the power. Oh, Father, yeah. So let the wife be to their own husband in everything. Be subject to the what? The power. Okay, now watch this here. As Christ, so let the wife be to their husband in everything. That power is spiritual, y'all. They don't have the power. They don't have it. Now watch this here. Husband, love your wife as Christ, the power, love the church. And what did it, the power do? It gave himself for it. Who is himself? That was the Lamb, the capital Lamb. It had to give life by allowing the Son of Man to go down. Because the Son of Yah was supposed to, they don't supposed to, the Son of Yah is all power. It had to lower its power to let Yeshua be sacrificed. You see what I'm saying? And what happened? So it had to die to what is controlled over all power. It had to die to its own power to go down with the ship for 3 days to bring that power back into, not into the power rest there and come. It didn't rest there. It left. It left. Let me explain to y'all. This is why I say you all, and I know Sister Deborah shouldn't be teaching this or speaking to this because I really believe it's over. And these things here will get you on a ride you ain't never been on if you really don't understand it in spirit and truth. Let me explain. You remember when Yeshua had left his disciples in Gethsemane and he was telling them to stay awake until he come back. He's going off to pray. You notice he was getting frustrated. You notice he was getting frustrated because every time he come back, they sleep. He told them stay awake and pray until he come back because he was going away and pray, going off to pray. And he went a little further. He went to pray and come back and he's still. And last time he came back, he said, oh, they still sleep. You know, when okay. So what did he do? One time, the time he went back, he began to feel that thing. How was he feeling it, Deborah? He was feeling it in his flesh. See, the Son of Man feeling something now. What's going on, Yeshua? What's going on with you, Yeshua? What's going on? Oh, damn, I'm starting to feel this thing. He said, take away this bitter cup. Hold up. Not my will, but thy will. Who you think he was talking to? Come on now. Take this from me. Take this feeling from me. Take it out. I don't want it. Take it. I don't want it. Not my will, but thy will. Be done. He talking to somebody. He talking to the Father, but he talking to the ram that came down with him. See? So what happened? There it is, the cross. Why is he hooping and hollering? Why is he now saying, the Son of Man said, Abba, Abba, why have thou forsaken me? Why? Because the Father's right hand, which was all power, couldn't get nailed to the cross. How about that? How about that? It can't get nailed to the cross. It is all power. It would have blew everything and along with Yeshua to smithereens. You can't nail the cross. You can't nail the power to the cross. So the Son of Man had to swoop up to let the Son of Man down the cross for the flesh of every man on earth. See, what y'all did not understand, he not only died for the flesh, he died for our spirit to be able to be redeemed back to he that sent us out. So so you start to hear Yeshua up on the mountain, up on the cross saying, Abba, Abba, why have thou forsaken me? When did you come to the point that y'all forsaken you? What you talking about, Yeshua? Deborah, shut up. I ain't talking to you. Abba, Abba, why have thou forsaken me? Hold up, Yeshua. Wait a minute. How is he forsaking you now? Because you have the plan for the lowercase lamb had to be sacrificed for the sins of the whole world. But he couldn't be sacrificed with the power. He had to be sacrificed as flesh. When that flesh started to feel the presence of the Son of Yah moving out, he began to feel that there was something going on. What was going on? Anybody know? The Son of Yah had kind of come out of him. When he said, Abba, Abba, Why have thou forsaken me? That was a sign for the ones that are chosen, that holds the mystery of the Most High Yahweh, his servant, in spirit and truth. So what happened? He gave up the ghost. What ghost was that? The spirit that came down from the heaven to do the mission. The Son of Man. That was his spirit saying, why have thou forsaken me? Why? Because he's feeling it like a man. He was supposed to feel it like a man because he was dying for all mankind. So therefore, he couldn't die on no cross with the Son of Yah. That's the power. So after he gave up the ghost, the Son of Yah came back, laid there, buried, put him in the tombstone 3 days as it was prophesied. And the power, which is the Son of Yah, raised the Son of Man back up. See, y'all don't get it. Y'all missed it. Because we so busy hearing the natural way that the Roman Catholic has smeared so much. And then we run around here chasing all these lost books. And not one of them lost books will bring you to that full revelation of the mystery. Not one lost book that they have read will never bring them to that mystery I just spoke. It's not given to the lost books. And that's what a lot of them don't understand. The servants of the Most High Yah today, those of yesterday, wish they could see into what we know now and what the Father has poured out in our spirit to know and to see regarding the end game. That's why 99 Point Trillion would never be able to go into the books of Deuteronomy 28 and end that game up for what's going to happen. Because they never have the spirit. You have to have the spirit of the Most High to be able to dip into that and go in the direction he shows you as he teaches you. Now, this is why Yeshua is born of a woman. He was born of the flesh. That's why when Paul said the Son of Yah, right then Yeshua knew that, hey, I didn't teach you that, Paul. Where you get that from? Oh, no, Father, you done gave that to Paul, didn't you? Yep, I gave it to him. Okay, he got it. You on the rock now, bro. You on the rock. That's what he was saying. That's what he was telling him. He was telling those that are spiritual led as his servant, look, you see, this is how I rumble. Yeah, he went into that grave with Yeshua, sat there in 3 days, rose him up with that power. You won't never know and have respect for his power because you don't know his power. That's why I was saying to you all, it's a lot of things people do not know and never will know because no one wants to go past what they know in the flesh. They want only what they can understand and comprehend in the flesh. They don't want to go, no, they don't want to go past that. They don't want to go nowhere near nothing else but what they want to understand in the flesh. Outside of that, they don't deal with you, y'all. They won't deal with you. And they would close down their whole thought pattern of even going, because it's what? The great falling away. When they start to fall, they already fell away, y'all. They already fell away. It ain't going to be no another great falling away. It's already took place. But the great falling away came when people fell away from what could have directed them in the right order, which is spirit and truth. So that's why he called it a great falling away, because they fell away from a spiritual creator to the flesh of man. And they went into all these churches and these communities and these camps and all these other ways that man can teach them. So they fell away from the spirit realm and they decided that we're going to walk in the flesh realm. And that's just it. They didn't decide it. That's where they're going to end up going anyway. But that's where the great falling away had already taken place. People, and what Sister Deborah is talking about, it gives me the right to speak of it today because it's over. It's finished. You know, it's over. And I'm speaking spirit and truth. And that's where I end up on the sideline trying to figure out why they don't know this, why they don't know that, why they don't get this, why they don't get this. So when you see right here in verse 25, Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 25, husband, love your wife as even as the power also love the church. Okay, so when you take the church and the word love out and give the church, he gave his power to the church. Okay, and he gave it himself for it. Himself, the power. That's what he did for the church. So how is it Christ is the head? You notice you don't see Yeshua. That's why you don't see Yeshua, y'all, because it's not talking about Yeshua. It's not talking about the Son of Man. It's talking about the power. Going back to what I said, they don't know. And he said that's what happened in Genesis, Deborah. When I say let us do what we've been doing to create everything, let us now make man. They didn't even get it. That was the power he was talking to, his own right hand. And see, I look back at it and I try to figure out, well, what a creator like you. What you gonna do about that? But then that answering my thing, y'all. That answering what he's answering me, the question I asked him. I said, all these children. He said, Deborah, what about me? I created everything, and it did that. Everything denied me. So what's up with you? You see what this is how he showed me things. Now you sitting here caught up in your 6 children, but what about me, Deborah? I'm the creator of all things. They denied me, still deny me. Still don't know who I am. Don't know nothing about me. And I'm their father. I'm their creator. So what you talking about? That's what he's saying to my spirit right now, y'all. So what you talking about? Get with it, baby. And it makes sense. It makes so much sense. How can I measure my 6 against everything he created? I can't. It gives me a better feel to know that, hey, I'm with you then. You can create all this here. He said, and all of it denied me. So what are you talking about? It opens up. That's that comforter. You know, because it comforts you with the spirit realm of how things are done. So you'll understand that, okay, and if it started in the spirit realm like that, what are you talking about in the flesh? Well, what's going on in the flesh, Deborah? You think your fleshly children go override my spiritual way? Oh, no. You only got 6. I got the whole world. And those in the grave and those under the grave. So what are you talking about? You know, just letting me know that this thing is deeper than deep. And we take it in the flesh in a way that it makes sense to us in the flesh. And he wants us to understand this thing is deeper than our flesh. This thing is spirit. And that's why I say anything you do, you think, you try to work on, try to see it. Try your best to ask the Most High to let you see it in the spirit realm. You know, and it's not something you ask him and then think that you got to ask him 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Not one time and wait for it. That's what's called faith. Faith is what you don't see and believe. And the problem today, everybody wanted to see Babylon coming down. Everybody want to see love. Everybody want to see soul. Everybody want to see something to justify nothing. It's what you can't see. You need to be looking for and believe it. They don't get that. They don't get it. So when you read that, it's talking about the power. Man can't have the power of Christ when he don't know what the power is. Right then, I think about the Roman Catholic. Had they known that, they would have took that out. That shows me there is a lot of things that they couldn't bother. It was so powerful, how would I say it, sealed into the book to where they couldn't, it's certain, I'm serious. It's a lot of things sealed in there that they couldn't tamper with. Oh, a lot of things. And it helps me a great deal. But I can see their handiwork. I can see their handiwork because of what he taught me. So when I'm looking at Christ, I'm looking at the power. So when you get down to, now watch this here. When you get down to, you hear it talk about the body of Christ. The body of Christ. The body of Christ. It's not talking about the body of Yeshua. It's not talking about the body of Yeshua. It's talking about the power upholds the church and the saints. They're up under this power. That's why you can't get caught up in a building, a camp. You know, people who have made their church in their homes, people who have made it in the woods or made it in a building and everything. Got people telling, come out here, we safe, we got virgins and all that. You can't base it on that. The true church is under the power, which is Christ. And you will never find him saying anything about the church of Yeshua HaMashiach. It's going to always tell you the church is under, and the saints are under Christ. So the more you read, the more you're going to see Christ separate from Yeshua. You're going to always put them together for the mission, but you're going to always see them separate in the spirit. I don't know if that makes any sense. As you continue to read and you be saying, okay. Then you start connecting the power and you start to see the Father. You start to see the handiwork of he that had created all things. You can't take away from the Son of man, born of a woman. That's why I say a lot of them, they wants to call the Son of Yeshua. They want to call him a looking a certain way. They look and they say, baby, hold up. You'll never see him like you saw him. He's coming in the spirit realm with the angels. You see? With his angels. He's not coming in a realm that we're looking for him to come in. Now one of us has never seen him. We just assume he's what was said that he was. So when he come, let me show you how sick it is. It's so sick among our men of Judah. Today looking for a Negro to come get them. Coming out of heaven now, looking to come get them. And not a spiritual power. All power. They're looking for a Negro more so than anything. They're not looking for a spiritual power. That's why they can't figure out, okay, if he coming, how we coming out? How we getting up out of here? We going on ships, plane, spaceship. How we getting out of here? See, they don't know. They don't even know nothing about the whole host of heaven. When y'all do something, he pull up like that, like he did in Exodus for Egypt, brought it. He said, I pulled them out, Deborah, with the whole host of heaven. And now one of them, you ain't going to get a Negro to teach that because they don't know what's going on. They don't even know what the whole host of heaven is. See? Now they'll tell you about Exodus, or when he brought us out of Egypt, out of the power of Pharaoh, or when he did this, and oh, when he did this, and oh, when he did this. Hey, now, hold up. When I read, I said, how is it? Wait a minute, Father, y'all. And I read that, and I said, it was years ago. I said, hey, hold up. Who is this host of heaven? What's this thing going on? The whole host of heaven. See, they don't get that. They don't get that. And that you take away from who the Most High is and his power, what he's capable of doing. When you make it like the way a man would bring you out. You see, we don't look at him as for who he is and how he will bring us out. We look at it how man would bring us out. We don't see the whole host of heaven. Go back and read it, y'all. He said, Deborah, check this out. The whole host of heaven brought them out. They was working in it with him. I was like, see that? And they won't even tell you. Nobody won't tell you. Nobody won't tell you. They'll tell you, what's his name? Moses and Aaron. They don't even understand. Moses and Aaron didn't do nothing. Now one of them did nothing. And the whole time, let me show you another thing. The whole time when Moses was going back to Pharaoh the first time, second time, y'all don't know. Pharaoh loved Moses. Pharaoh loved Moses. Always did. Father knew that. Father Yah knew that if Moses, his big brother, would tell him to let the people go, Pharaoh, that cuckoo, and would let him go. Because he loved Moses. But what happened? Tell you what. Go tell him to let him go. About time he get there, Deborah, I'm going to harden Pharaoh's heart so he won't let him go. And I said, Father, why would you do that? Why would you send him in there to tell him to let him go, but then harden his heart so that he won't let go? He said, keep reading. See, Yah was trying to reveal himself to Israel all the time. They were in Egypt. And now one of them looked up and see anything. Just like the days of Noah. Not one came He said, okay, Noah, I left my wife, I left my children, but I want to be on the ark. Not one. See, y'all ain't getting this thing. So what makes you think he gonna bring every Negro up out of this on the four corners up out of what they in? Come on now. Who lied to you to think that? As if he got to bring us all. No, baby. You missed it. He got a written in the heaven and on the earth in this King James Bible or the 1611. I'm only coming for a certain amount that I'm taking over to the promised land. Kick rocks. See, they don't get that. So I'm like saying, why would you keep sending him if you know and harden Pharaoh's heart? What's the deal? You mean Pharaoh's heart wouldn't have been hardened and not let the people go? He said, no, Deborah, he would have let the people go. Wait a minute, Father. Wait a minute, I'm not getting something. I know you're not. What was the spiritual mission in it? What was the spiritual purpose in it? You're going to have Aaron to go with Moses to keep going to Pharaoh to let the people go. And you knew you had hardened Pharaoh's heart so he wouldn't let him go. And on top of that, you had plagues come up on Pharaoh each time he didn't let him go when you know you was the one letting harden his heart so he won't let him go. Tell me, somebody answer that. Anybody in the live chat? You're going to harden Pharaoh's heart so he wouldn't let him go. And then you put a plague onto Pharaoh and his people all over each time. What's going on? See, y'all don't know him. Because when you really come to know him, you'll know he ain't one to be played with. And the way y'all do things is not like unto a man. And the way these men are running around here trying to make him like them. They trying to make him like them. He ain't nothing like that. Now, what happened? I said, okay, then what's going on then, Father? Y'all, why you want to keep doing that to Pharaoh? And Pharaoh going to let the people go? You don't have to keep doing all of that. He said, oh, no, I'm on the road. Wait a minute, Father. Y'all, wait, firstborn? Oh, my goodness, you finna take the... Deborah, my plagues are out. It's got to roll my will. Not their will and not yours, but my will. You know what I taught you before the foundation of the world? It was finish. So we down on the earth rolling this thing. And according for it to go my way, I got to see to it that my will is done. Just like you see Satan cutting up from the floor up today. The Father don't give a rest behind if it's the tribe of Judah or if it's Israel cutting up with the floor with Satan. He don't care. It got to be done. You see? So he already know in heavens who's who and what's what, while we down here clowning, trying to pretend we all holier than thou. And that's why I say, with me, it's finished. I ain't got time for all that. So what happened? He said, now, when I'm finished, then you I'll take you to another level. So he took me to another level. He said, now everything is done. The last one, I softened his heart, took his son, softened his heart, and let him go. What could he have done? He could have started war because his son was, that's wartime, that's fighting. He could have. But it was what Yah did to that man's heart. You see? He let the people go. It wasn't that Pharaoh had the power to hold him or let him go. It was the Father in heaven already orchestrated to go the way that he had from the heaven. You see what I'm saying? It ain't had nothing to do with Moses, Aaron, Pharaoh. It ain't had nothing to do with none of that. He was orchestrating it from the heaven level, the way he had to go according to his will on the earth. So then I said, well, hold up. You keep calling these people your people. Hold up. You finna bring them out. And you bring them out. When you bring them out, did they learn something? That quick. You caught on, huh, Deborah? I said, Father, hold up. All them times you was hardening Pharaoh's heart. You was pouring out those plagues onto them, even the one that took the firstborn. What about these doing it for? Did they learn something from it? He said, what do you think? Okay. He said, why did you think I hardened his heart? I said, so that he would not let the people go? Yes. Why didn't I want Pharaoh to let the people go? He would have the first time, but I hardened his heart. Why is it you think he didn't let the people go? Because I hardened his heart. Why would I want to harden his heart after I'm sending Moses and Aaron to tell him to let it go? Why would I meet this man's heart to not let him go when I told them to go in to let him go? He said, Deborah, you getting it? I said, yeah, I'm getting it. Guess what he was doing, y'all, all that time? He was showing up and showing out to the house of Israel, the whole house, showing them his power, his might, his glory. It didn't have nothing to do with Pharaoh. Pharaoh was getting the other end of his judgment. But the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah had an opportunity to see the hand of the right hand of the Most High Yah. Throw up and throw down on their behalf. Ain't that deep? So when y'all running y'all mouth about who he is today, you got to understand who y'all is today. All of what he did. All of that. Year 2024, 2023, they still don't know what took place. I can see why he did not allow people to know what take place before the foundation of the world. It would have been useless, because that's why they still don't know. I'm like saying, so that's why you just have a small a remnant of what you. He said, yeah, that's what I have to, and I had to have made them that before the foundation of the world. Because I'm like saying, wait a minute, hold up, They coming out, huh? Yep, they coming out. They coming out. And guess what they did, y'all? He made sure that they gave the Israelites stuff to leave out. The children of Israel left out with. So you see, they was leaving out with gold, all kind of stuff. They were leaving out of Pharaoh's land with a lot of stuff. They left out with substance. So I'm going back over here to the father, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. When you was dealing with, now listen to this, y'all. When you was dealing with the lamb that was slaughtered, you told them how to go about killing the lamb and the blood. That same sacrifice is the sacrifice of the other lamb that was before the foundation. They were slaughtered before the foundation of the world, which was for the sin of man. Just as the lamb that was told to put to kill the lamb and take the blood and put it on the doorpost, so that what won't pass them by? What will pass them by? Death. When the lamb, which is called Yeshua, the Son of Man, when he came, that's what he was coming for. Same thing. That his blood will be on those that's going to escape eternal death. Vice versa, from that time he let them out, even to the end. The one that came to die on the earth came to be the sacrifice, the blood sacrifice, to redeem those that had came down back to the bosom as a form of adoption them back to Yah, even though he was dying for all sin, because that's what his whole sacrifice was, to die for all of our sin, so that those that are redeemed back to the Father will make it back to the bosom of the Father for eternal, meaning life. That means they are not going to receive death in the eternal. They're coming back to the life through the what? Through the blood of the Lamb, like unto when they were in bondage with Pharaoh, and they was coming to kill the firstborn. The blood on the doorpost to hold back who? The firstborn son. The firstborn son. the firstborn son. Heavens had ordered a first son, fruit, first fruit, the son, to come down to die. The only begotten to die. For those that death is going to come. But it ain't going to come for them because they got eternal life in the Lamb Book of Life. So the blood had to be sacrificed before the foundation of the world. That's why it didn't take him to love the world to bring down the sacrifice. All he had to do was create it. That's it. Created and how? To bring it forth down to us and gave us. That's it. So the blood sacrifice was like unto the one where Pharaoh's son, remember he died and all others firstborn died. But what was those that had the blood on the doorpost? It's like Christ, which not Christ, it's like Yeshua, the Son of Man, blood was put on the doorpost. His death for the blood, him hanging, that blood was the lamb, the sacrifice, okay, for all the ones that's going to come back, okay, to the bosom of the Father and live. Just like the one on the doorpost, the firstborn. That blood of that lamb kept death from taking its place. And it passed them by. Same way. That's how you got to see that blood of the lamb. That's how you got to see Yeshua, the Son of Man. That's how you have to see that. See that like that, that same connection is the same connection for the sacrifice that came to die, to redeem and adopt us back to Yah through the blood. But he had to shed the blood on the cross. Okay? But he is to redeem us back to what? Life. And then we won't have death. So that's his whole purpose. But he ain't coming to redeem the world. Only those who got off the path that came from the Lamb Book of Life, that they may go back where they belong. You see? So a lot of these, that's why I say a lot of people are so busy playing all these games and trying to manipulate people and deceive people instead of just taking it, making it nice and smooth. So where you can see the Father's working of his hand. Now watch this. Now here they come through the sea. All this house of Israel, dry land. How is it you can't see the sea parting up on each side? That's a miracle in yourself. You know what? I probably fell out and died right on that dry land to see that. You see? That's my mindset. Wait a minute, what, Father, I would have fell out. You would have had to wake me back up because I would have fell out. Just the idea of your power and your glory doing that. That these Israelite people, these stiff-necked, rebellion and disobedient people, these nasty attitude people, Deborah, why would you say that about them? What did they do to you? Okay, let me tell you what they did. My father was hardening Pharaoh's heart so it would get them to see what all he was doing for them then. They didn't see the end, and they don't see now. So I'm like saying, well, why is it you doing this to Pharaoh? It's Deborah, I'm trying to get the Israelites so they can see who I am, see my power, see my glory. They still didn't see it, even though I knew they wouldn't. Same thing about why you having them. This is my question. I said, Father, I was in the wilderness in class. Why is it you let them take all those substance and all that gold and stuff that they had? Well, you know they wasn't going to do nothing but build them a new God. Why would you do that? Why would you let them come out? Or why would you make a way that they come out with all that jewelry and all that to where enough? They had so much, y'all, they built them a calf. But why would you want them to do that? Why would you? He said, see, Deborah, you see who I am? I already know every move. And it don't stop them or make them change not one of their moves in the way they are. Did you know they never came out of the wilderness, Deborah? I said, Father, yeah, I know that they, but I see why. Because no matter what, did y'all know the reason why they didn't come out of the wilderness? It's because they was the same people all the time. But then heaven, when he heard they cried, did he know they were like that? He said, yeah, I always work with the worst of the worst. I'm known for that. You see, He showed his work, his handiwork, and his power. Here it is. He's showing this all against Pharaoh, and the Israelites can't even see his glory. For them, for their name's sake. But not for his name's sake. But all he was doing for them, they decided to get gold and everything and get over there to the wilderness and decide to build them a God. We want a God that we can worship and serve. So they never did come out. They died. So the children came out. They were no better. Because what? The apples don't fall far from the tree. And that's in reality, even to today. You can make your sons and daughters, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your husband, everybody, what you want them to be in your mental state of mind. But they are what heaven had already created them to be. So that's why I was saying, if you ain't got no, that's why you know what, you never wonder why he say, seek ye the kingdom first. That's why. The kingdom will help you out, baby. That's the only thing that can help us. It's the kingdom. How can the kingdom help me? Oh, it's going to tell you what's in front of you, what's in back of you, and every side. And if you trust in it enough, it protects you. But it knows your goings and your comings, your up and your down. It knows the day you come in and the day you go out. This is what people don't understand. When he says, seek ye the kingdom first. This is why he's telling you to seek the kingdom first. Because it holds all the what? The answers, baby. Y'all run around here on this YouTube looking for these clowns. Talking about a man being a leader, ruling. Sit y'all tails down. They ain't got nothing on he that you need to be seeking first. That's why he's saying that. That's why he's saying it, but nobody never wanted to do it. Just like I was telling y'all about love. Same way about soul. Nobody wants to do right. It's easy for them to do right, and they love wrong over right. And it's going to always be like that. This ain't going to change today since Sister Deborah found truth. Sister Deborah wake up to truth. It ain't gonna change. It's gonna be what he already saw it to be from the heaven. Because I remember when he was showing me everything that had taken place, and then I went on to say, but why would you have them leave out of Egypt with all this, knowing they weren't gonna do nothing with it, but make them another God overriding you? Why would you let them do that? So when people talk about here how we gonna come out of here with substance, Father, no, we don't need no substance. And if we do, we're gonna do the same thing they did. Serve another idol God on our journey to the promised land. I think it's going to be some drop off, y'all. I really do. Because I'm telling you all that we are not seeing him for him. And it's a sad thing, but it's a glad thing for somebody like me, because if he didn't taught me that Deborah Heavens has already orchestrated the beginning and the end, and this is how it rumbled, then I got the shit. I realized that everything that has taken place and going to take place was created in his will. That means he wrote the book. And it ain't talking about this Bible. It ain't talking about the Bible. He wrote the real book that got the beginning to the end and everything in between. He got the light and the darkness. He telling you all about it. So that's the book that I focus on, the one that holds it. And when we get to the point where we can only see what man is willing to teach us and what we are willing to read to understand, that's on us. He let you alone. He don't bother you. But he say, don't come bother me. If you're going to trust in your own understanding, you're going to trust in your own understanding and not get the understanding of he that has all understanding, that's on you. That's on you. So that's why I say to you all, it's over. It's finished. It's no need in Sister Deborah trying to bend over backwards in all kind of ways to try to get people to see something that the Father won't allow them to see. Now, if he let them see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. But it ain't nothing to be hooping and hollering about, or wanting. That's I leave that for those who need the subscribers and likes, and needs the praise, needs the glory. I know where mine's reign at in heaven. That's the only time that's the only glory I want. That's only likes and subscriber I want. What's in heaven. In that Lamb Book of Life, all this old monkey mess down here, you can hang that up when it come down to Sister Deborah. Don't mean nothing to me. Don't mean nothing. People, I mean, the mindsets that's on these platforms, the saddest part is the one that's out here teaching and preaching, been on this thing for years and ain't saying nothing but what they speaking in the circle. Same thing they saw before in the circle. None of it has any light, None of it has spirit and truth. And I sit back, I said, for Father, they don't know nothing about this here. They don't know about this. Why you think Yeshua? All you have to do go back. Why was Yeshua shocked that why was Yeshua shocked that Peter said, who I am is? Why was Yeshua shocked? Because he knew that that wasn't his mission. And he knew that Peter couldn't have gotten that outside of from one place, the Father. He knew it. And that's what that shows you, that even the Father has something to say that'll override Yeshua. Because Yeshua wasn't waiting for that. He wasn't prepared for that. That's why he said, wait a minute, flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you. Meaning I, born of the flesh, Son of Man, didn't reveal that to you. Only one way you got that is strictly from the Father in heaven. And I like how he said it, from the Father in heaven. Letting you know, I'm down here carrying his power and his word and his spirit, but hey, you got it straight from the horse's mouth. And that's what people don't understand. People are already there where Peter is at. I know I am. There's things I can tell Peter, just like I can tell Paul. Paul can't pull up with the tongues. Paul can't tell you all that speaking in tongues, what is it? What are the people saying? Sister Deborah was taught by the Spirit that there's 3 tongues in the church. But the reason why he had to teach me the 3 is because I understood the spiritual tongue, but was wondering, who is this other stuff I'm hearing? What is this stuff? This yibba jabber stuff I needed to know. So he told me, he said, when those are tongues of flesh and tongues of Satan, they're going to always be in the midst of anything that is consists of him. And that's why the praises of tongues that goes up, they are praises to glorify the Father in the sanctuary. Why? Because he said when the praises goes up, blessings come down. So it was a time where you remember where, I give you an example. You seen how the day of Pentecost, all of them was on one accord and they were praising and worshiping and the blessings came down. That's what he said. That's his tongues. That's his spiritual tongues. It's when your tongues or your tongue speaks to his spirit in your spirit, but it's your spirit, but it's a spiritual tongue. It's glorifying him in praise. And when he received that in the place of worship, he bring blessings down. That's how the healing come in the church, y'all. Y'all didn't know that, did. That's how the blind begin to see. The lame begin to walk. The sick is healed. Cancer is delivered. This is how. We turned all that over to praise dancing and praise worship. Now they dancing and everything else. And they took out the tongues. That's why he said the tongues will cease. And he don't mean they were ceasing because he took it from them. Because man has done all this to remove every spiritual gift he gives. They come do something the opposite to wing it out. And that's how they do it. So all this time, blessings goes up, praise goes up, and blessings come down. And that's why the church, you don't see in the church no healing, no deliverance, no miracles, no signs or wonders like it was back in the days. Because no praise is going up in the spirit. So no blessing is coming down. You want to praise your pastor, your first pastor, first lady. You want to praise the choir, the praise dance. You see, no praises goes up, and you bound to not have no praises or no blessings come down. And this is why, because you should have been able to go. Say, for instance, somebody go to the church and they got cancer. You go into the church, when the praises goes up, that sends the blessing down. But ain't no praises going up. So why should blessing come down? Ain't no praises going up. They took it out of the church. So here comes Sister Deborah. Paul got something to say about, okay, I would rather speak in a tongue in which I can understand. You're right, Paul. You better speak in a tongue you can understand. You ain't got no business speaking in another tongue that you cannot understand, because what purpose will it serve? You know why he was saying that? I'm going to tell y'all why Paul was saying that. Because Paul hadn't received someone in the church that had a gift of interpreting. He can't interpret his tongue. He can't interpret. He don't know what it's saying. Okay, it's not for you. If the gift ain't given to you, it's not for you. But I tell you what, I'm with you 100%. You are 100% right, Paul. But I come on a different level. You would love to live to see how important it is to have the gifts of tongues and the gift of having someone to interpret it, because that takes the praise, the healing out of the church. And that's why y'all end up with a lot of fake healing. People, coach people coming in wheelchair, pretend you walking. You say you got just, they say your leg you've been in a wheelchair for 3 years. They got to fake it to make the people believe, because they take everything spiritual out and add the flesh of man, the ways of man, to mess with the minds and the eyes and the ears of individuals. And that's why. So when Paul pull up and say, okay, he won't speak in another tongue, he won't want to speak, I can pull up on Paul, say, okay, Paul, it's good. Let the tongues flow. I'm here. I can interpret the tongues. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, when the tongues go up, the blessings can reach to heaven, because the tongues is praise to the Most High Yah. It's praises to the glory of the kingdom. He that sits on the throne. That's what the praise is going, strictly to the throne. But if you don't know how, you don't have nobody to interpret it, and you can't interpret it, you're right. Sit down. Sit down. Sit your tail down. And this is what has happened. They took that out of the church. Healing, everything. They took everything out, because it does nothing represent the Most High Yah anymore. Everybody just making their own thing. The Hebrew Israelites, okay, the tribe of Judah, especially, everybody own thing. And they calling it Yah. No glory, no holy, no nothing. Just making it what they want it to be. So that's kind of sad. But that's real sad. So believe it or not, I'm gonna tell y'all something y'all might not understand. Those apostles, the 12 apostles, and those that was in back in the days, they probably would be thrilled to hear what Sister Deborah is saying today. But it's not the will of the Father that they step into this time, because this is the time in which he has willed it for certain ones, you see. And I remember him saying that the bold ones, he called them the bold ones, and that is truly what it is. And not being afraid of their faces, because some people think, since they've been on this devil platform, they don't understand what the narrow and broad gate is. When God is saying that he has a narrow gate, there's a narrow gate and there's a broad gate. He's saying, y'all, people, I created 2 gates. Going back to the 2s. Y'all gonna be able to teach Sister Deborah what the 2s is in everything you say, because you're gonna learn that there. And then you what the 2 gates are for. One is for life eternal, and the other gate is for the lake of fire, destruction, which is the lake of fire. And many shall go therein, and very few shall even find this one. So he's showing us that there's 2 gates. Do you know people don't give a rest behind that there's 2 gates? Let me show you what he said. This is what he said. He said, use Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, use YouTube, and any of these platforms. People detached, righteous, upright, just, they detach, sanctified, they're holy, they're the one, they are this, and they're that, when they're in the broad gate. And it is so 100, y'all. Because in that broad gate, they use that broad gate to draw others into the gate. And they saying, okay, I got so many here, I draw everybody into my own understanding, the way I see things, the way I understand things, the way I think about things. I draw people into my feelings. I draw people into my emotions. I draw people into when I'm offended. I draw because I'm in the broad gate where many goes, many follow me. See, they don't get the whole idea of how heavens has orchestrated. Y'all don't get it. Heavens orchestrated and created it for his will, not Sister Deborah. His will is telling you that there's 2 gates. Everyone is going to enter into one or the other, but you're going to enter into one. I'm telling you, the narrow gate is like this, and it's the way. But the broad gate is going to lead you into destruction, and many therefore shall go. So what people do, they detach the broad gate to righteous, to lights and subscribers. I got it going on. I can convince people this, because I got more subscribers, I got more likes, I got more people following me. And guess what? They know not you going in the broad gate, bro, sis. See, they ain't got sense enough to realize you ain't leading nobody into the narrow gate. You're leading them into the broad gate. You see how that don't make sense? And they don't grip that. They can't. It's like gone. They can't grip that because they detach having so many subscribers to I'm righteous, I'm just, I'm upright, I'm the child of the Most High God. You see, I'm this, I'm that. I get all the praise, I get this. And then when they get offended, or they feel offended, anytime a person get offended, where they have to make videos to trap their audience into their offended mode, that's bad business. Because you already going through the broad gate, baby. If you're going, if I'm on one side and I'm going through the narrow gate, and you over here in the broad gate, the people ain't figured it out. They can't. They have not figured out that the broad gate is not the way. You see, they look at the broad. I'm in there. I'm in the righteous lane. I'm in the right lane. I'm going to the right people. I'm listening to the right baby. But then he said, Deborah, go get in your lane. Get in your lane. You know, in your lane, you know what is righteous. Get in your lane. Did not I tell you the narrow gate leads to the way to eternal life? And very few, how many? Very few, how many? Very few shall what? Even find it, Deborah. So they ain't looking for it. They still running to the broad gate. And it ain't no other way for them but that broad gate. That's why they keep running to it. And then these people on these Deborah platforms, they detach subscribers and likes. I got so many. I've been on here so many years. Baby, you ain't leading them people. Because if you was leading them to the law, listen to what I'm saying. If you were leading them to anything righteous to the life, you'll be up in the narrow gate, baby, not in the broad. You see? That's what they don't get. So they say, well, okay, forget the narrow gate. If I'm going to get a check out of the broad, you talk like you silly. I'm going to stay in the lane where the broad. These people glorify me. People like me. Even when I'm offended, they make me feel good. You see? This is their mindset. They don't give a rat's behind about the broad gate. I think I told y'all throughout my whole life. You all, I'm going to get off of here right now. At first, I felt bad when I got to the car. And I wasn't feeling bad enough. Like I felt, well, maybe you should have felt really bad. But I didn't feel real bad. But I was like, nah. But yeah, he looks silly. Y'all, listen to this. We in the grocery line, right? And in the grocery line, the line is long. And I have this black man that, it was on a Sunday. He looked like he came from church. He was a black man, had to been like probably 58 years old. And he was in front of me. I was behind him. Okay. And then you had two other blacks. And way at the back, which like the seventh person was a white lady. You know what? He's in front of me. And you know, this guy went out, stepped out of the line, looked in the back, saw the white lady, told her she can come on up. I said, you better get your butt back there. You better get back. And I told that guy, I said, let me tell you something. Our Negro brothers always wonder why the white man do them wrong. This is the reason why. Y'all kiss too much tails. And y'all do y'all black family wrong, but then you'll do the white this way. And that's why they do y'all tail so bad. If you ain't gonna ring up, get your tail on out the way. When I told her, you better get back to that back line, you think she didn't go back to that black line? In the back of that line? You better go back to that back line. How How dare you? 6 black people in the line. You're going to go to the back of the line where a white lady's and tell her she can come up to the front line. And I'm the next one in line. You's about a lie. And it ain't even about the line. It's going back to what I was telling y'all. Throughout life, I've seen things right before my eyes and how our men and women conduct themselves, especially the ugliness of our men. That man felt so bad. And I'm to be honest with you, if y'all heard the words I said to him, you wouldn't even believe it. He had to stand up because it's the way I said it. Oh, I wasn't loud. I'm looking stupid now because I'm clowning. But it's the way I said it to him. And I told him, if you ain't going to ring up, move on and let me. But you ain't going to dare get this white woman from the back line and all these black people behind me and put her up front. You better go back in that line. That white lady back in that line. This is why they do us. Because they see us always chopping each other off. Now, why is he getting ready to ring up and going to stop what he's doing before he ring up to see if a white lady in line so he can get her to do it? And now, if him and her was together, that's a different story. He didn't know her and she didn't know him. So how are you going to just bring her all the way up and let her go first? You know, we're not going to have that here. We're not back in them days. No. And he left out looking like somebody didn't killed him or something. Somebody didn't, whoo, that man was getting out of that store. No, we ain't going to have that. That's why I tell y'all I don't have sense and I don't care. But I have sense enough to know what's right and what's wrong. And long as I'm standing on what is right, wrong ain't going to have its place. No. So I'm just saying this thing that I things like that I experience, I always think about it because I wonder. I mean, I just ain't got no sense when it comes down to stupidity. Oh, no. And I just thank the Father for being all the way with me when I'm right. Now, I don't look for the Father when I'm wrong. But when I'm right, ain't nowhere in the world. No. So that's how I am in pretty much everything that I do. I'm learning, you guys, how to just let go as far as my children and let them go on and do what they're going to do. Because Maya, let me show you what she did. She went and got an Airbnb way over the line, over the internet. $1,000 deposit. She gave him $1,000 for Airbnb. Guess where you are? South Korea. Now these people that she worked for, they stay in Korea, but she got a $2,000 ticket to go over there, not to them, but to go over there to this Airbnb because something she always wanted to do. You know what? I'm going to tell y'all something. When people ain't got a life, they really ain't got a life. What I learned as a mother, as a sister, as a grandmother, and more so, let me top all that off, as a prophetess in the wilderness. Nobody gives a rest behind about who you are, what you can be, what you're going to be. Everybody's living on dark time. Now, you're going to get a ticket to go way to South Korea. You 21 years old. And you're going to book you a B&B and you gave them $1,000. You don't know about where you're going. You don't know nothing about, just nothing. You see? That's hard for me. And when you're trying to explain to your kids and they're adults that they make stupid choices. My son, the youngest son, caught himself going over to Colorado mountains. Hold up. What? You going up in the mountains. Have you heard about these black boys being missing? These black men being missing? You finna go up in the Colorado mountain with the Jews? You's a fool. You's a fool and you's a fool. After I done told you who they are and how they rumble, he's finna go up in Colorado mountains for the ski season. You don't even know the people. Tell me you going up there to work. What I have learned is off the chain. And one day I will be honest enough to tell you all the truth of some things in my life. But the problem is I told him, I said, see, Jonah, y'all be going and doing things without doing y'all study, or without money, without thinking, without anything. I say, and I feel so sad. And y'all, I'm going to tell y'all this here. I feel really sad. I feel really sad. So, you know, in Ezekiel chapter 36, when the Father said, I had pity for my name's sake, the Father said that. He said, I had pity for my name's sake. I have pity for me. I really do. I feel sad for myself. I really do. I feel sad for myself as a sister, as a mother, as a daughter, as a grandmother. I feel so sad for myself. Why? Why do you feel sad for yourself, Deborah? Because here it is. I want the best of the best for them. I pray for their health, their mindsets, their way of life. I'm constantly praying never to interfere with the will of the Father from the heavens that took place before the foundation of the world. And I always put it before him, your will, not mine. Okay. So reason why I feel sad for myself is I realize I got these kids that don't have none whatsoever for the feeling of a mother that had always been there for. Always been there through thick and thin. They don't look at the ideas of, I don't want to do nothing that's going to hurt mama or worry mama. And I said, Father, he take his tail up on that mountain. Anything go on, and anything can go on. He's too ignorant to understand how he gonna come down. Who gonna come up there for him? You see? Who down here worried about him? You take your stupid tail up in the mountains, never to be seen again. Did you ever think the suffering I would have to know that you was on that mountain, I couldn't bring you down? If it wasn't for the Most High Yah, I don't know where I'd be around by now. I know he's a comforter. I know who he is. And because of who he is, I'm who I am. Because just dealing with these kids, you be like, did you ever think that you go over in Korea and anything happen, how am I going to get over there to get you? That's a long ways to how am I going to go over there and get you? What am I going to do? You know what? So guess what I started telling you? And this is what it's going to see of me as a mother. This is what I started telling them. Okay? I tell you what. You going up on the mountain, you go on as high as you can go. You go on up that mountain. Go on up on that mountain. But if you ever get in any trouble, if you get in a situation, any situation you get in, you say this. Don't open up. Don't say no more than this. You want to go over to South Korea, 21 years old? Don't know nothing about where you're going. You want to go over there? I tell you what, if you get into a situation, you better call on only this here thing here. You better just say these here. Don't call me. Don't say anything. I'm calling on the God of my mother. That's it. That's it. That's going to help me out a great deal. I got to keep holding on to that. You give them the key of understanding. If they get in any trouble, don't call you. Don't look for you to come running, because they see all their life I was the one to come running. I was the one that got them in and out of anything. Their whole life is always weighing on my shoulder. So you're going to take your tail up to a mountain, be the only black person up there? You stupid. So I tell you what, you take your tail up to the highest mountain. But when you get up there and you get in any situation, you just say, the God of my mother help you. That's it. That's all they have to say. The God of my mother. The God of my mother. That's the only way they're going to come down. They ain't going to come down with me. I can't do it. I don't have it. I can't do it. I can't do it. They won't bring no sound. They won't build no foundation, no plaque, no level, no nothing. It's just nothing there. So one day I'm going to share with you all my life so you can understand that Sister Deborah can tell somebody something, spiritual and natural. Because in my life, I learned so much about. And did you see how you can be talking and how you can have people come in and go out, especially the males? They can't stand, they can't stick. This is why I'm saying to you all, this is where you know how you can separate the fruit. The fruit tells on itself. You see what I'm saying? But back to this here. The key to it is why I could say a lot to our black men, the tribe of Judah. I can say a lot to them. Would they understand it? Would they grip it? No, they won't. Why? Because they haven't gripped my father. So I don't expect them to grip me if they don't grip my father. If they don't understand the father in the spirit realm, they don't understand me. That's like you tell me all the time. If they don't do for you, they ain't gonna do for me. If they don't do for me, they ain't gonna do for you. So that's where the breakage is located. So I'm like sitting here thinking these kids in the mindset. And I'm studying telling them the curse is upon them. And I ain't talking about the Hebrew Israelite curse. That's another curse on top. Do you all know you got curses on top of curses on top of curses, and you trying to figure out, well, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is it? Because ain't no curse has been broke, y'all. We know the curse of us being cursed over here. That's going to be broke, so we can clap for victory on that. You know that's going to break. But the curse that we have, also, y'all don't even understand it. These men, if only they can see the curse of every family come through them. I sat back and I watched so many, all the way up until yesterday too. So many families are coming forth. So many men are coming forth talking about how their grandfather and their father molested. Y'all don't know how deep this rabbit hole goes in darkness. Satan did messed up families, not through a mother and father breaking up or separating or the government welfare. Those children was broke up from the floor up by Satan pulling in these men, giving them the whole idea that they can mess with their babies because they had tore up the woman's mindset as a mother that's nurturing. A mother that nurtures her child protects her child. But if you can go back, I'm gonna take you back only. Let's go back. Let me go back. I know I can go 400 years. I can go all the way past 400 years because I think it was going on in the promised land, to be honest. I think it was before they even got to the promised land. I think it go all the way back, y'all. I'm sorry. It go all the way back. But I can tell you right now, give or take, I'm gonna run up on 150 years. 150 years. Boys and girls have been raped, molested, violated, and every sexual act come from the household of their parents, where the father then messed up the household through all of that. Let me say the example. I'm sitting back watching how all these Negro men is mad at Jada. And Jada Pinkett Smith, one thing I do not like about her, I'm going to tell y'all, she wrote a book. She lied, y'all. She lied. Jada Pinkett Smith, if I could see her, I would tell her, you lied. You lied. What do you mean she lied? She knew that the life that Will Smith was living, is the product of his son. His baby son and his sick-minded daughter is because of what Will Smith has lived all these years. And Jada Smith knew it all the time. All the time. And she don't want to leave out thinking, making people think the truth. So she want to leave out telling bits and parts of her life so you can kind of give some sympathy to her. But she ain't telling them the truth, y'all. It never was her. Will Smith been in some stuff that's off the chain. 18, it says. It started when he was 18. Y'all, Will Smith been doing some things. That's why people don't understand. They sit back and see him kiss his son in the mouth 2 and 3 times on television and won't click in on their mind. They see his son running around here wanting to wear dresses and it don't click in their mind. They see his daughter out here practicing witchcraft and using this new thing called having sex with everybody. All this and all this darkness, it don't click in their mind. Their children is telling you the story. Praise the Almighty Yah. The seed of the father, which is his children, is telling the story. Something Negro women never understand, never understood. You want to know something about your man? You want to know something about your husband? You want to know something about your husband's father's father? You want to know something? Go back into that spot, that your husband's bloodline, and you'll know about your children. That's what Negro women don't know about. When you step into the bloodline of that father, then you'll find out who your children are. And until then, that curse gonna ride on down generation and generation. Will Smith was a demonic spirit way before he even met Jada. Jada Pinkett Smith was going through drugs and doing all her little things too. But hers can't compare it to his. Y'all. And then I sit back and watch these Negro men, even to today. Oh, I feel so sad for Will and Will this and Will that and Will this and Will that. Will been trying. Let me tell y'all something this. Let me go and tell y'all this. I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to tell it because it's true. Will Smith's been trying to sign on to the elites for years. He already in there. In the ways that they want him to be performing all this here, males on males, messing with these little boys. Will Smith been messing with his little boy, his son, his brother. Will Smith been messing with his son sexual for years. Tell it like it is, Deborah. Tell it. Tell it. Oh, yes, for years. He been doing it. Wade, that basketball player. Why you think his son wants to get in dresses and everything? He done sold his son out a long time ago to all that. He sold his son off. That's what Beyonce doing with her daughter. Her daughter is owned by the elites now. She gonna get her all the way out, and she gonna find no way home because that's the firstborn. That's what they want. She had to pay the price so she can clown and get fame. And that also, and what I was explaining to you all about how people think having the most of subscribers and likes, oh, they in there. That's just like Beyonce. She's in there based on how many fans and how many people love her. They don't even care if she's serving Satan or not. They love her. So how about that? You just doing the same. You just trying to get the same matchup that Beyonce got. Evil. And that's how you get likes and subscribers, because it's going on praises on you. And Father ain't getting no glory. That's you. Shoot, he don't care if you sell yourself out for a check. Don't care about Satan said, I'm in there. You sure right you in there, because they too ignorant to see the narrow gate, because the narrow gate ain't seeing them, because they can't go in. Okay? But I feel really bad that these men, all these men, even those that call themselves actors and singers, always whining about, oh, Jada did this to him. And these Negro Hebrew Israelites, same way. Jada did this, she did this. They wore that Jada Pinkett Smith out, and she's standing there ain't even telling the truth. And I said, oh, Father. That's why Will supported her book. As long as she didn't have the truth in there. That's what she was doing. She was trying to get she was trying to get people off of Will. and just focus on her story so people can get pity party for her. But it's backfiring because they ain't getting pity party for you because you telling your story. These Negro men out here hate you more than they ever hated. And one man say, she ain't all that no way. She's beautiful and she's pretty, but she ain't got no she ain't got no thickness. You fool. You fool. Because that, hey, I had to take care of a woman, an elderly woman. Let me tell you something. That stuff that's up falls down. See if a man like it then. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna be long gone from you. So all that trying to overget this and overget that, so somebody look at you, they don't want nothing but for what they can fantasize about. You don't ever want something in life that's gonna cause you to just to fantasize. I like this because this person thick. Talking about Jada Pickett ain't got no thickness in it, so that she ain't nothing. I'm like saying you sicker than sick. That lady didn't got to where she's at because of who she is. And then you gonna sit and say she ain't nothing because she ain't got no thick. Anybody want no thick, you keep that. That's what all them African women's having. And that's how them African women, that's still we are over on this end, but you know what? Now one of them can't do nothing that they wanted to do in life because the weight itself would stop you from doing a lot of stuff. So you ain't talking about nothing. Just being used, want to be used for a man pleasure. No, no. But I just wanted to put that out there. I saw that and I hate it because see, Sister Deborah can see behind seeing. They would never have known I known that. And I just shared it. They would never have known I known that. Yes. He been having sex with his son. And he has also took his son to events. Just like Wade, the basketball player Wade did. He also used his son as a sacrifice. So this is why he didn't have no problem with his son turning into a female, because he was used as a little boy as a sacrifice. You see, a lot of y'all thinking these people got to where they at because they hard workers. Y'all alive from the pit of hell. A lot of these people got there because they not only sell their spirit, okay? And that's why I have a problem when people say sell their soul. Well, how can you sell your soul? How can you sell your soul? Because there ain't no such thing as a soul. You can sell your spirit. That means just like you would get depressed, it comes to attack your spirit because the spirit is what you're selling. Because that's what Satan wants. He wants your spirit. He know he ain't got nothing to do with your soul. He wants your spirit where his spirit gonna end up. That's it. So that's what they do. They sell their spirit. Y'all didn't know that, did you? The elite sells their spirit. They ain't talking about no soul. Y'all sick as I don't know what. These people so holy than thou and be teaching this Bible and thinking they know something and don't see what the Roman Catholic has put in nor taken out. They don't see it. They think it's about Enoch and all these other books. Baby, none of the books will tell you what I'm telling you now. How about that? How about that? Can any of the books tell you anything I'm telling you now? How about that? How about that? They can't. Because y'all didn't say that this comes by lost books or found books. He said this thing come by hearing. You got to hear something powerful than a book. You got to hear his spirit. You see, that's what you got to hear. Not all these clowns on this devil platform. But I hate that she did that. That shows me what women been doing all these years, which I have learned that, and I didn't mean to learn it. I really didn't, y'all. I didn't mean to learn it. It's just, it's been put on me to understand it. I didn't mean to, but I understand why people have allowed so much to go on in their household. I'm going to say 150 years. The father said to me, Deborah was way past 400. So the father was telling me that in the promised land, they were doing it. So this is another act that took place. I was explaining to y'all how they made women out of cattle and used them to sell and that's why they cover up Genesis chapter 6. They keep them from doing it. They were doing the same thing, but it was sex trade. And they trying to make it, giants can't have babies by women. So I'm trying to figure out, I ain't trying to figure out nothing because the spirit already told me ain't no such thing. That's something they made up. And they just feed off because it sounds good. It gets the men off of what they've been doing all the time. But he said, look at you. Here you come pulling up. How do you know what you know? I said, because you taught me. You took me to the wilderness to do it. And see, that's another thing. He had to take me to the wilderness to teach me so that these earthly spirits won't be the one to be teaching out of these churches and manipulating me, deceiving me. He's greater in me to teach me what is spirit and truth. But he had to take me to another level, and which was the wilderness, to show me the things in the spirit. You see, because what happened is we learn from the mouths of everybody, and we learn that which is in the flesh, and then we forsake the spiritual. Don't forget, spirit came before the flesh. So the spirit knows what's right. So we run around here chasing all these people that's talking flesh talk, flesh understanding, flesh wisdom, flesh knowledge, and then they flesh emotion, and they flesh personal opinion, and they flesh feeling. So what? It keeps them from understanding what is spirit, what is meant for spirit. So I sit back and I think about, it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. It's really sad. Like I said, everything is really sad, and that's why I'm okay to understand the lane. If it had not been for the lane that he has created me, I don't know where I would be. I know I'll be in a mental institution or 6 foot under, because I'm looking at things too clearly. Too clearly. I can tell you about Jada. I can tell what Will Smith did to his son and what age. I can break that thing down. And I sit back and watch Jada. I said, why are you lying? All these mothers for the last 150 years, if they could come up and rise and get together and tell y'all the story, it would hurt y'all. They would tell you they knew it all the time. They couldn't control the men. The men threatened them. The men beat them. The men did everything. These men done a lot of things that y'all's going to pull up and pull out on. So that's why I say, Tribe of Judah, you got something coming from the Most High, y'all. And this prophet is in the wilderness come to tell you that. Because a lot of them are doing things today to take the focus off of what they did today and yesterday and been going on. But what the Father say, in the end days, that which is in the dark shall come to the light, because he's going to bring it to the light. And he already doing it. He's already doing it. But what I was concerned about a lot of things, because I keep seeing Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and Isaac talking about how he's going to kill our men. And I'm trying to figure out, well, wait a minute, hold up, what's going on? It all makes sense. It really do. When I see within 150, let's say 100, it's been, he said, the Father said it went on in the promised land and way back before, even in Torah. He said this is how they came up. This is how thick Satan is. He's a sexual demon. He interfered with what I have created to be natural, and he interfered with it in the spirit realm and in the natural realm. And he changes it in the natural. And that's how they don't get a rest behind about the spirit realm. You cannot go around having sex with your daughters. You cannot go having sex with your sons. Why are you in the rectum of your sons? See, we sitting back thinking, oh, this is white people. God said use a lie from the pit of hell and stop lying. That's why these curses is continuing, because we keep hiding them. Who's hiding them? He said the women, the mothers, the grandmothers, the aunts, the sisters. They've been hiding all of this. They've been hiding the sin of men for too many years, and that's why he's gonna throw down. So a lot of them thinking they're gonna escape out of the four corners, and he's coming for them. He ain't coming for you. It's payback time. That's what that time is going to be. You just don't know it. He told you about how he's going to take down Babylon. He ain't going to just take down Babylon. He's going to take down Babylon first. And United States men, you going down with him, whether you want to accept it or not. You don't have to. Let's wait on the time. Let the time show itself up and out. You see these black men running in these stores, and some women are with them too. Now, I ain't going to tell you, you see them out here breaking into stores, doing everything to degrade us as a people. You don't even, you people out there don't even see all this negative stuff our black men is doing. Our black men is saying how they conducting themselves, how they acting, how they showing they white men with men, how they degrade their women, and they don't have not a feeling in them. White men don't like you no way. They always thought you was an animal, and all you're doing is showing them that you are. But do you think they care? There's nothing in them. And the Father say the reason why it ain't nothing in them is because they have wronged me. If they gonna wrong me, they gonna wrong their wife, their children, their mother, their father. They gonna wrong everything. And I had to tell this man that came to my store last week. I had to tell him it starts. You know what he asked me? He wants to mess with a young girl, right? He said, well, I said, these our young girls is out of this world. They ain't the same. He said, do you think they'll ever come together? He didn't even know I knew that that's what he liked. His preference is young girl. I said, he said, Deborah, do you ever think they're going to get it right and get it right? I said, see, he wants them to get right so he can get him one. You see what I'm saying? I said, y'all probably said, this lady, y'all probably said, bye, Deborah, good night. I'm getting ready to get off y'all anyway. But he said, I told him, I said, no, they ain't gonna get right. Why y'all old men and y'all men want these young women to get right? If the men don't get right, the women can't get right. They too ignorant to know that. I had to break that thing down to him. I said, have you ever saw sperms in a microscope? You notice the tip of it is a light. John, Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 4. In him, the men, I put light. That's the sperms. He trusted them with the light. He's the capital light, but he trusts them with the light that he blew into them. He didn't blow that into them. He gave them the breath of life with a spiritual light. But those sperms has light. That's life. It's life, y'all. Real life. So what are you doing? I say, so you want all those lights in you that you disperse, and you all have these children, and think these kids are coming out here just being who they are because they just who they are. They who their fathers are, was, and shall be. So when you park in this, I say, you know the scriptures. That's why he said, I will visit the iniquity of the children. 3 generations. If it don't end up, I keep on hooking 3 more. And if it don't end up, I keep on hooking 3 more. And if it don't end there, that's where you're at today. Because nobody wants to get rid of the generational curse. And men enjoy having sexual pleasure in all the wrong places that the Father has not and have told them that it's a no-no. Leviticus 18 and 19. They don't care about that. They taking females, and what I kind of feel sad for is it's been going on so many years to where I heard about bucking and about our black men and how the white men will let their sons and they have the white men's doing stuff to black men. But let me tell you something, baby. They've been doing that way back in Genesis, Sodom and Gomorrah. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody want to live a lie. And the Father said, nobody want to tell the truth, Deborah. And what they want to do is make me a lie so they can be the truth in themselves. It has been a known fact, 100. Every time I see stuff and I sit back and watch all these people, these women and these kids crying out, and these women and men 70, 80 years old talking about how their life was ruined when their daddy did this and their daddy did this and their daddy did this. And right today, their mama been dead for years and they hate their mama because of what the mama let the daddy do. But it's, and then you run around here saying the broken homes because the women put the men out. If y'all don't stop that, no, it's too late. It's over. Bye, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all sitting here listening to this old lady, but I'm gonna tell y'all, ain't nothing I'm saying is not true. And if I could tell the people, now this is the thing, I can get on here and tell you everything that's going on in the world with everybody that's in the world, like I just told you with Will Smith and Wayne and Will Smith's son and his daughter and them. That's why they confused. Their parents been tampering with them for a long time. And Jada knew that Will been in there. And Will's so happy. He's so happy Jada didn't put it in the book. And I said, she just don't know. This sister know what really happened. But it ain't nothing I can do about it. But I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I say, all right. If anybody have any questions, anyone have any question that they want to ask Sister Deborah before we leave out? We can do that a minute or two. Anybody have any question that they want to ask? Thank you. Anybody have any question? So, but I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I will be back. Okay, shalom, shalom.